Congress passed a law last November that required the Justice Department to release all of the Epstein files. But the DOJ just keeps dragging their feet. Maybe they let 10 out, then they let 15 out. There's so many Epstein files left, and both sides of the aisle are complaining that the files that were released, they're incomplete, they have too many redactions, they can't really figure out what's going on, and the vast majority of Americans want these to be made public. So the question is, are we ever going to see all of them?
No.
There's over 5 million files.
Moving on.
No, I've said it before. I don't think we ever will. We understand that the Department of Justice has opened up an investigation into it and
into itself?
Into Epstein and other people that alleged co-conspirators. And when there's an open investigation for the Justice Department, you don't have to hand over certain materials. So will we see all of them? I don't think so. There are 1 million that they say that they are going to release, but they're sifting through them. It is unfathomable that a law provides a deadline and you just missed the deadline. That is just simply not done in this country. It has never been done. This is anecdotal, but I remember when I was a prosecutor, I was in the appellate division, and we had 30 days to file something. I filed it, and this was before you could file it electronically. I was running down the street to get the timestamp on my document. I got it at 11:59. I thought I did it. I did the thing. I went back to my office and I was like, ow, 11:59. And my boss said, and you think you did a good job? This is the Department of Justice. You never cut it that close. Do better. And I took that seriously, and I never did that again.
And remember, this is after Pam Bondi, almost a year ago, said that she would be releasing the Epstein files.
They're late. You don't do it.
I mean,
you knew she was not going to put those files out.
I'm glad that we're talking about this because we have to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. We have to be able to care about the geopolitics of what's happening in Venezuela and not get distracted and continue pushing for the full, transparent release of all the Epstein files. We owe it to all of those victims.
We do.
Yeah, and I think that one of the names, there were 2 names that weren't redacted that we already knew, Ghislaine Maxwell, but the other one is Les Wexner, who's someone, now, I have to just say, he has not been criminally charged in anything related to Epstein. Okay, said. But this guy's name is all over everything. He's Epstein's one client. Epstein obtained a New York mansion, a private plane, a luxury estate in Ohio, all by Wexner, who just said in 2019, I'm embarrassed that I knew him at all.
What do you mean he was his client?
He's a billionaire. When Epstein went into financial, they have no idea how he made his money. Epstein could call anyone in the world and get them into his apartment when he wanted.
No
he had
MBA,
billions,
no finance background.
But he literally didn't even graduate college.
He managed
this guy gave him everything. And don't tell me a billionaire's so dumb that he didn't vet the person that he gave all his money to. But this guy's name was in there, and there were 10 co-conspirators named. Lex Wexner is one of them. Keep your eye on that one, because this is one of the things I've been saying. It may not be names we recognize. It will be billionaires that hold the power and the puppet strings behind all of this.
Well, 2 things here. I still think that the true accountability is going to come from the victims sharing their stories and from the estate, because the estate cannot defy a congressional subpoena. It cannot defy a law enforcement investigation. And we've seen some of the most damning information came from Jeffrey Epstein's estate. I do think that DOJ is going to soft try to comply. They did turn over some of these documents. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche put out a statement saying they're like feverishly working through.
By the way,
I don't think it's because
it's really easy to go through documents these days. We don't do it the way we used to do it 20 years ago. All you do it through AI. You put some search terms in and you come up with the document. It's not that hard.
Keep in mind, we're now in 2026. The midterms are happening this year. It is very likely the House is going to turn over to Democrats. And I think if you're the AG or the Deputy AG and others working on this, you know you're going to get called before the Oversight Committee and you're going to have to answer questions. So I think there's a little bit of incentive to at least somewhat comply.
And you know, despite the fact that that I think we got very little information, we did get some nuggets that I think were incredibly disturbing. One of the things that to me was very disturbing is the story of these 2 sisters, Maria and Annie Farmer, who in 1996, Maria Farmer reported Epstein's abuse of her underage sister
yeah.
and stealing of child pornography to authorities, and they sat on it and did nothing. There were so many times that this fell through the crack and shouldn't have. And
It didn't fall through the cracks. It was left there on purpose.
Well, it was guided through the cracks. It was guided.
Look,
Listen,
a bunch of powerful men protecting a powerful man.
well, this is nothing new.
Right.
This is nothing new. Unfortunately, it's 2026, and we're still dealing with the same old crap we were dealing with from 1985. Do you know what I mean? Men having way too much power, people with money having way too much power, and no way to sort of
No accountability.
no accountability. But, you know, as long as the people keep saying, hey, you know, I'd like to know what's in those files. As long as you keep asking the questions, they can't ignore you. It's only when you stop asking will they be able to do it.
I know I read a legal disclaimer earlier, but earlier when we were talking about Epstein, Les Wexner's legal representatives have stated that an assistant U.S. attorney in charge of the investigation confirmed at the time that Wexner was neither a co-conspirator nor a target in any respect. So just read the files.